Wrath of the Titans picks up about 10 years after Perseus defeated the formidable Kraken. Where do we find our reluctant hero when we first meet him in this film?
Well, you find him trying to live a simple life with his son. His responsibilities have changed, and it was something that I was adamant about. I didn't want it to be a carbon copy of the first kind of character. That was a conduit for the action. That's all really the Perseus was that I created. There was no real character there in the first one, but in this one, it's by giving him a son, his level of responsibility to himself is awakened. And I think when his dad comes in, when Zeus comes in, that this demigod burden that maybe he's been hiding comes to the forefront. So, but he's a rusty gunslinger. He hasn't been doing anything for 10 years. Hasn't ridden the horse. Hasn't picked up the sword. You know, it's
not getting much exercise from the fishing rod.
Well, I said, Liam said it takes a lot of muscles to take out the net. So I said he's lived a tough life. The cray pots have been empty. So he's not as fit as he used to be.
And at one point, Poseidon says, "You're the only hope left in the world." So there's no pressure there, really.
That's the thing. There's a lot of burden being a demigod and being the son of Zeus, and I think that's the course of the movie. That here's a character that learns that maybe instead of shying away from it, sometimes it's okay to take that burden, take that responsibility, and you can do better and you can do good for the world.
And father-son relationships aren't always easy at the best of times, are they? But you've thrown into the mix here the god and demigod thing. What can you tell us about the dynamics between Perseus and Zeus this time, and working with Liam, of course, as well?
Look, I think the only reason me and Liam and Rafe really wanted to do the movie was if he explored that dynamic. It's a dysfunctional family who just happen to be gods and set in a world of monsters. But essentially, it's a movie about a father trying to reach out to his son as his own world's crumbling. A son trying to forgive his father, brothers trying to forgive each other. And I think that's something we can all relate to. So even though it's a big spectacle movie, it's got a great beating heart.
And how much did you enjoy the comic strand this time around? A lot of that comes from Toby Kebbell, doesn't it, as you know?
I don't find Toby funny at all. I find him annoying. Now look, Toby and me, hopefully I'm quite funny as well. No, it's a great dynamic I have with Toby. Toby's like a good mate. From the outset, me and him got on. And I'd seen his work before in Rock and Roll and stuff like that. He's a very dynamic actor, but he's clever in the sense of he understands his role. And this was Han Solo and Chewbacca. That's what we wanted. And that's no insult to Toby. It was just that's the dynamic. If you look at those movies, Harrison and the Big Wookiee, there's a fun playfulness that keeps an audience entertained, and that's what I wanted Agenor and Perseus to be.
He's just a little less hairy, I guess, isn't he?
He's a little hairy. That's the other thing. Whenever I use that analogy, poor Toby winces because he was so hairy in the movie. I designed his costume, a Hessian sack, and I gave myself a beautiful Mad Max costume. Yeah.
And the film really is like a thrilling ride and visually stunning throughout. What does Jonathan Liebesman bring to the table as director?
Jonathan brings energy. He loves film. Me and him, we're the same age. We reference the same films. That's how we kind of create together, and I love that enthusiasm for this industry. It's infectious. It makes me realise that not to be cynical and not to look at this world of, we're making something we don't know if it's going to work and it's going to get criticised, rather than going, Jonathan's way of thinking is we're going to make something that's darn cool, that's awesome, that I would go and see, and I love that energy on a film set.
Yeah, it really shows on screen as well. Yeah. Sam Worthington, thanks very much.
Cool, man.